Ladies and gentlemen, it is all about the preparation for Maurizio Pochettino. Now, let's build up the hype, man. Let's build up the hype. Let's get some sort of excitement back for next season, man. The outlook for next season. Come on. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get cracking on in regards to Chelsea late night news, bringing you the latest in all of Chelsea news over the last 24 hours or so. This is what's popping off at the moment. First up, a bit of a quote from Mauricio Pochettino. I don't know when this quote was said, but I don't think it's recent. I think it might have been said quite a while ago, but I don't know. I don't know the time frame. But it got me excited. I like what this quote is all about. When a player signs a contract, they need to understand that they do not sign a contract to play games. You sign a contract to train, then you wait for the manager to pick the team. Kudos to you, Mr. Pochettino. I like this. This is coming from the Athletic, Jack Pitbrook, putting this out there. I need to read that particular article and then find out when this was said, but I like the comment. I like the comment completely. Mauricio Pochettino is set to sign a 3-year contract with Chelsea. The Times understands Chelsea have opted to return to more common contract length of 3 years after giving 5 years to Graham Potter. Good that we are learning. None of these 5 years needed. 3 years, nice and standard. There's something for the manager. There's something for the club. And Mauricio Pochettino should be on the toes. Should be always looking to do well. And I'm pretty certain. I think this time around, Mauricio Pochettino, he'll be after not such a great time at PSG. I think he'll make sure that he does really well at Chelsea Football Club, which is fantastic for us. So this is coming from Time Sport, Tom Roddy. 3-year contract, ladies and gentlemen. I absolutely don't mind it at all. I think it's about the right, contract term length, which is good for all parties. Pochettino is preparing to fly to London to sign the formalities of his Chelsea contract. He's awaiting the green light from his lawyer. So look, it's done. It's just some final touches that's needed. Hopefully we hear an announcement sometime this week. And look, our next match is against Man City, by the way. Oh, wow. What a performance from Brighton. We will talk about this in my second channel. Don't you go anywhere. What a bottle job from Arsenal. And looks like Man City, if they win the next match and, they'll become the champions once again. They'll do the three-peat. And guess who their next match is? It is us. It is the mighty Blues. It is the mighty Chelsea up next. Look, Poch, don't watch that game. Please do not watch that game. For us, the season is over. And hopefully, Poch already has started some groundwork because he needs to hit the ground running quick, pronto, well before the preseason starts. Without that shared commitment to fitness work, it would be impossible to play the Pochettino way. High pressing, trying to win the ball back within 4 seconds of losing it would just not work if the players did not have the legs to execute that brand of football. This is the thing, man. I want Chelsea Football Club to become a team that is ferocious, that is so ruthless, that don't care about the scoreboard. You just see the opposition and you play them on their merit every single minute. You see the way Man City, and I don't expect us to play Man City football. I get it, but I'm talking about building that mentality, that level of mentality that Man City has. Man City, they lose the ball, they win it back so quick. They suffocate you. They don't let you breathe. They box you in. It's their structure. It's their organization. Pep not only works on how the team should be with the ball, but as soon as you lose the ball, you should be in a situation, in an area to win it back immediately. This is the ethos. This is how our mindset should be for next season. And I hope this is something that Pochettino can instill along with the backroom staff. So, look, fitness is the key. You've got to be, someone like Gallagher. I don't know, man. Maybe he might have an opportunity next season if someone who can keep running and running. But it's not just about rudderless running or headless chicken running. You've got to have purpose to your running. So I think that's where, and it can't just be one player running. the entire team needs to run. This is why sometimes it looks a bit odd when Gallagher is running around, because no one else is, and it's easy to bypass him. So it has to be a collective situation. The double sessions, gym sessions, the carefully controlled diet and nutrition, the monitoring regime to avoid injuries, they were all done to get the players in peak physical shape. This is from The Athletic. Look, avoid injuries, please. Avoid injuries next season. We've been getting hammered with injuries left, right, and center for the past few seasons. Something that we need to work on, especially for the top players that we have. They miss out on too many matches, man, and it's detrimental to our cause, because the drop off in quality is quite mad. Hopefully, we can bridge that drop off as well down the track. Chelsea will put some club staff with Pochettino staff to really build what they hope will be a proper, formidable coaching unit that avoids them having to make another change in the dugout. Look, if this doesn't work out with Pochettino, we are dead. We are simply dead. I'll tell you right now. This is it. All the eggs in one basket. High risk table, man. All in. Do you know what I mean? It's got to work out, because if this doesn't work out, we are going to have a mammoth setback. We already have a big setback, and I don't expect us to, crash into top 4 next season. I've maintained it. I think top 6, if we can come 6th and work from there. But if this next season turns out to be 8th, 9th, 10th, something like that again, with no player development, with lack of morale, this, that, the other, I'm telling you, we are done. We are done then. Pochettino turned down Chelsea previously until he was offered more control. He has received approaches from Benfica, Athletic Bilbao, Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest. Sevilla also made contacts, as did Villarreal, Nice, and Leeds United as well. This is from BBC Sports. There was a lot of demand. There was a lot of demand for Pochettino, and look, he's probably better than some of these clubs that's been mentioned over here. But yeah, he's got his work cut out for Chelsea. He's been waiting for this, and finally he gets it. And it's been a long, drawn-out interview process. So I'm hoping every little bits and pieces have been drawn out exactly. Who can do what and what clauses are there. What are the expectations from the board, the owners, the manager? I hope everything is laid out clearly, so everyone knows they're in the same page as everyone else. So I don't want any sort of confusion next season. No confusion at all. Co-director of recruitment and talent Joe Shields is understood to be playing a key role in preparing for Poch's arrival in terms of reshaping the squad, which is fantastic. Joe Shields is obviously the guy on the right. He's the one who scouted. He's the one who's working with Man City and knows Romeo Lavia well. He's the one who brought in Romeo Lavia to Southampton, because he went to Southampton, Joe Shields, from Man City. And then we obviously brought him to Chelsea Football Club, and now we're rumoured with Romeo Lavia. I'd be very surprised if we don't get Romeo Lavia. I think this is one where Joe Shields is absolutely all over it. So, look, seems like he has an eye for talent, and I don't mind. I don't mind him being, massively part of reshaping our squad. So, kudos to that. Let's see what happens next season, where our squad is. Pochettino ideally wants any new signings to have Premier League experience. Look, this whole thing about Premier League experience, I don't mind. I like it. I understand it as well, because it gives you a head start. But let's not have our eyes closed for gems elsewhere. I mean, look at the way Brighton's moving, man. Look at the players that they're bringing in. I'm telling you, Enciso is going to be the next big thing in the Premier League. Straight up, he'll be the next £80 million player for Brighton. Brighton is just building players. They've got this other player called Undav, and there's many more. I don't mind bringing in Premier League experienced players, but sometimes Premier League experienced players don't work out either. So there has to be a good balance. Bring in the Premier League experienced players along with the gems here and there. So I know we brought in a lot of youngsters, but I don't know how much that's been scouted, or that's just our owners doing a bit of madness. Scouted young players around the world, I'm down for, along with Premier League experienced players. Absolutely. Now, let's talk about some transfer news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be following Felix, because Felix, as I keep saying, if you're not following him on Twitter, please follow him. He's got some internal information. He gets a lot of things right. And when it comes to transfer news, you best believe he knows what's going on. Whether they come into fruition, that's a separate story. But These are some of the rumors that's floating around. Understand Brighton expect to lose Caicedo and McAllister this summer, and De Zerbi has already said this in one of the press conferences, I think post-Arsenal match, correct me if I'm wrong. And it's quite clear to see Brighton will lose Caicedo and McAllister, and they're already preparing very smartly for the future. I don't think Brighton's going to lose any more players, though, Mitoma and all of those. I think they might stick around. But these two players, 100%, I think they will go. Todd Bowley has spoken with Bloom directly. Chukwuemeka and Conor Gallagher were brought up in the discussions as interest from Brighton. Caicedo recommended by Winstanley, McAllister by Poch. So it's going to be interesting. Do you go with Poch's recommendation? Do you go with Winstanley? That this is where the compromise has to come. I don't think we should willy-nilly just take everything that Poch says into complete recommendation. We should at times sort of rebut or oppose or come up with a strong case as to why this particular situation might not work. Sometimes managers, they may have an inclination to get a particular player which may not suit the way our philosophy might be or what the future holds and whatnot. And this is where you need the sporting directors, the technical directors, all of these board of directors that we have. You need them to make the right call as well. And there needs to be a compromise. Like, I'm not saying just listen to what Paul Winstanley is saying, like he wants Caicedo and just listen to him. No, there needs to be a well thought out process as to who needs to come in. We need a defensive midfielder. I think the first and foremost thing that we need to understand is what profile do we need in midfield. We need a defensive midfielder, and we need another midfielder that can be box to box, right? So you have Romeo Lavia, you have McAllister sort of being in that box to box, but they're somewhat different in profile. McAllister, I feel like, has a little bit more creative sense, whereas Romeo Lavia, more blockbuster, do you know what I mean? Physicality, can score goals. Both can score goals. Caicedo, on the other hand, defensive midfielder, can sit deep, can break down the play, but be very, very combative as well at the same time, and can be very ruthless moving the ball forward too. So first and foremost, figure out the profile and then sit down as a collective and lay out all the pros and cons, then come into a consensus. Who needs to be brought in? Let's not be blind about the manager wanted this or the board wanted this. Come to a consensus. I think that's the most important and best for Chelsea Football Club. But yeah, look, I'm happy with both of these names, man, Caicedo and McAllister. And I feel like both of these profiles we need. It shouldn't be just one or the other. We need both of these profiles in our midfield. So let's see what happens. Edouard Mendy wanted around 170k a week, similar to Kepa. This is from Simon Sports, Simon Johnson from The Athletic. Look, this is what we said recently, right? All the articles that were floating around. Mendy wants Kepa money. And I've said it, Kepa don't deserve Kepa money, let alone Mendy. And Mendy with that horrific mistake yesterday. And the fact that he hasn't played much this season. He's going to go. I think Serie A will be a good destination for Mendy. I hope we get a decent amount of money for Mendy as well. If we can land anywhere between 30 to 40 million for Mendy, I highly doubt it because in Serie A, no one has any money. But if we can somehow get about 30 million for him, I think that would be fantastic business. Edouard Mendy is expected to depart first, followed by Kepa Arrizabalaga. Mendy has been considering his future, and being unserved by Kepa is just one of the reasons why. There has been frustrations over how talks over a new contract have progressed. He wanted a salary in the region of what Kepa is earning, around £170,000 a week, but did not come close to being offered that. He's never going to get offered that. Premier League errors leading to goal per 90, 2022, 2023. Edouard Mendy, 0.21, man. 2022-23, I mean, he barely even played. Hugo Lloris, 0.16. El Amelia, 0.009. All of these, like Melia was one that we were rumored with. David De Gea, 0.06 errors. Like, surely, are these stats correct? Among all the Premier League goalkeepers to play 10 plus games this season, Edouard Mendy has the highest rate of errors leading to goal. Wow, that is not a good look at all. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to some really, really exciting news. I don't generally cover women's football. I think I should start incorporating some of these news. At the end of the day, it is all Chelsea news. congratulations, man. Massive result for the women's team. Congratulations to Emma Hayes and Chelsea women's team. FA Cup winners after beating Manchester United 1-0. I mean, these girls, these women, they just pick up trophies after trophies after trophies. They are absolute mentality monsters. Unlike the one that we hired in the men's team, these guys are proper mentality monsters. Emma Hayes, we've had ownership changes. The men's team hasn't been brilliant. Chelsea fans, this is for you. I hope we had a little bit of joy tonight. I hope we gave you something where you can smile about this year, the whole club, owners included. I love this, man. Emma Hayes, she's strong-minded person, and she's so strong. You know, you see all the excuses that we have for the men's team, and you have Emma Hayes coming out and saying, hey, we continue strong. Kudos to them, and massive kudos, massive motivation. Look at what Emma Hayes has done, the damage that she has done with Chelsea Football Club. Emma Hayes, OBE, FAWSL 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, FAWSL Spring Series 1, FA Cup 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, League Cup 2, Community Shield, another FAWSL title is potentially loading. I mean, sensational, ladies and gentlemen. Incredible, and kudos to the women's team. Congratulations to the women's team, and thank you for at least giving us fans something this season to cheer on about. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up right now. Let me know how you felt about everything that we've talked about. Preparation for Pochettino. Exciting times, man. Exciting times. Looking forward to next season. We can hopefully forget about this season. Obviously, we'll review, recap, and unpack this season at the end of the season when we do the review and understand the mistakes, where the mistakes been made and whatnot, and hopefully those mistakes are never made again. But now let's prepare for Pochettino. Let me know in the comment section about your thoughts and feelings about all the things that's been floating around, the Edouard Mendy, the transfers as well with McAllister and Caicedo. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Destroy the like button. Make sure you destroy the like button. That's my thing. Destroy the like button. And if you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time. See ya.